Remember to always start rehearsals on time.
When working with minors, you must be an example of a good role model.
Always make sure that you're dressed appropriately around learners.
Remember, the vocal health of your student is more important than winning a prize.
Be prepared for each rehearsal so that you can reach your goals.
There is zero tolerance for substance abuse in the workplace, especially when dealing with learners.
Respect goes both ways, so be mindful of others.
Remember to always lead by example.
Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be discussing the basics of choral conducting. Before we dive in, let's make sure we understand our basic music concepts. Beat. The beat is the regular and repeating pulse we find in most music. This is shown by a time signature. Tempo. This refers to how fast or slow the beat is going. These are usually indicated by tempo markings, which can be words such as presto, meaning fast, lento, meaning slow, or allegro. Sometimes, tempo is indicated by a number, which shows us at how many beats per minute the composer wants the piece performed. Rhythm is how we divide the space between the beats. Sometimes we use silences or long and short notes to make up a rhythm. Rhythms can be different even if the beat is the same. These are three things to consider when we start conducting. Okay, now I know you're excited to start waving your arms in the air, but let's make sure we know about the different types of beats. We have duple time, which is when there are only 2 beats in a bar. Let's try and clap together on beat 1 and pat our thighs on beat 2. Join in with me. That's great. Now, let's try and add another beat in the bar. This is called triple time. Let's clap on beat 1, pat on beat 2, and click on beat 3. Try it with me. Amazing. We're going to add in one more now. 4 beats in a bar. So this is called quadruple time. We're going to clap on beat 1, pat on beat 2, click on beat 3, and stomp on beat 4. Try it with me. These beats are all considered simple time because each beat can easily be split into 2. Let's look at compound time signatures now. These can be a little tricky, but I'm sure we'll get it together. One of the most common compound time signatures is 6/8. The 8 at the bottom means that we are in compound time, and the 6 tells us that there are 6 half beats in a bar. Because it is compound time, we group these 6 beats into groups of 3. This means that a 6/8 time signature can feel a little bit like duple time. Let's try it like this. The first group of 3 we are going to clap, and the second group we're going to pat our thighs. Join me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Let's now move on to 9/8. Remember that the top number shows us how many half beats there are in the bar, and because we group these into 3, we will have 3 groups of beats. This will then feel a little bit like triple time. Let's clap for the first group, pat for the second, and click for the third group. Join me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This last one is a little bit more complicated, but it is often seen in music, so let's make sure we've mastered it. We're going to talk about 8/8. When counting this, we use both compound and simple time measures. This is because we can't divide 8 by 3. So, if we have our 8 half beats and we try to split them into groups of 3, we get 2 groups of 3 and then we are left with 2 half beats, which we can use to make up one simple time beat. Here, let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Remember that we can't conduct 8-8 like we do 4-4 because they are not the same. The groups of 3 that we make in compound time means that the pulse of the rhythm is different. Now that we know about the different types of beats, we can make sure that our arms are waving the right way. Let's start with duple time. This has 2 beats in a bar, so we're going to move our arms like this. It looks like the letter J. 1, 2, 1, 2. Remember that the tail of the J always goes outwards. We want to be careful about not making too much of a flick because this can start to look like quadruple time. Let's make sure that the beat is clear and the pulse is steady. Now let's work with triple time. Because it only has 3 beats in a bar, it looks like a triangle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Be careful to not make this one too fluid. It can be easy to lose the pulse when the beat isn't shown clearly. Let's move on to quadruple time. This formation looks like a sail. We draw the mast, then the sides of the sail, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to make sure that we find a good balance between rigid and fluid, so we keep everyone in time, but there is a bit of freedom for dynamics. Now moving on to our compound time signatures. Remember how I said 6-8 can feel like duple time? That means that we can conduct it the same way, but let's make sure that we are showing the pulse of the music correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-8 can also be conducted like this, but it doesn't work well if the tempo is very fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can practice this at home, but until you are comfortable with it, try and stick to our J movement. Our 9-8 time signature will look like triple time, as we have 3 groups of half notes. Let's try counting out the half notes whilst we use the triangle shape we used earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keeping everyone on time and on the right beat is only the beginning of conducting for choral works. Remember, the sheet music will also tell you if the music needs to go softer or louder. This is shown with dynamic markings. P for piano or soft, F for forte or loud, and variations on those. Take a look at some of these that are regularly found in choral music. You can screenshot this for easy reference. An easy way to start incorporating dynamics into your conducting is by showing soft or piano singing by making your movements very small, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When we want to show that the singing should be loud, we can make our movements a lot bigger, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When we want to show a crescendo, or that we start soft and get louder, we can grow our movement, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it works the other way around too. If we want to show that the singers must go softer, we can make our movement smaller, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can also show dynamics with one hand whilst the beat is kept with our other hand. This can take a lot of practice, but it should look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember that we don't want to make our movements too small, because some people might not be able to see. Start by establishing a medium space for you with a medium volume by your choir. Remember that everyone is different, so do what suits your body. You need to practice these techniques because practice makes perfect. Some great ways to practice are with your metronome or with recordings in the correct time signature. Put your metronome on a slow speed. Remember, the lower the number, the slower the tempo. And practice your different beats. duple, triple, and quadruple. Remember to practice with both arms and then try with one arm at a time so they can learn how to work independently. Gradually speed up until you are comfortable with each time signature. If you don't have a metronome, there are plenty of apps available to download. Play games with your choir. Have them sing la on each beat and practice getting faster and slower. This will also help establish a connection between you and your choir so they can understand your movements better. A fun way to practice dynamics is by having your choir sing a chord on ah and practice getting louder and softer with you so that they can get used to your dynamics. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy each of these modules so that you can conduct like a pro.